Welcome to week 4 of our Back to Basics Barefoot sessions. So today we're going to have the little bowls, if we can, that have got things like a tissue, a hanky, pebble, keys, little balls, whatever you've got handy. So we're going to be using them a little bit later, but we are going to start today with our balls with the rolling of the feet again. So you're going to take that ball, popping it under the heel, keeping the ball of the foot down, and we're just going to start by rolling side to side again. If you're needing to start on the chairs and stay on the chairs, please do. If you're feeling that you want to progress through from the tennis ball to a slightly harder ball, again, please do when you're ready. So just a quick little roll through, and then we're going to come to the base of your arch and pressure going straight down again. So hoping that over the time that we've been doing these sessions, that you're noticing a little bit of movement through the feet. It's going to start helping with the balance and stability, and we're going to be building those nice strong feet. Going to take a deep breath now, please, and roll to mid-arch, pressure coming down again. So again, just keeping in mind that everything we're doing is needing to be done very, very slowly to progress through. We're wanting to make sure that we minimize any pain for you as we are moving through all those joints and muscles and bone. So it is a very, very slow process. And let's bring it back to the top of the arch and pressure back down. Slow process, but extremely beneficial. So remembering again, no cringy faces when not wanting too much pressure that you're in pain. We're wanting a little bit of pressure, a nice release through. I'm going to take a deep breath through, please, and roll forwards and backwards. So chairs are there always for balance, whether it be in front or preferably beside, so that we are keeping that body up nice and tall. So with the forwards and backwards, we're now going to bring it to the front, putting the heel down and taking a side to side movement with the foot. And we're going to now roll that ball up and down. And the foot, this one's a little bit harder in keeping that hip alignment through. So side to side again. And then we're just going to bring it back side to side and put the ball on the foot. Bring the toes up for me and down. And take a deep breath, holding on again and just coming back and forwards. Okay, so taking a deep breath, holding onto a chair, we're going to bring the foot up and we're just going to take a little circle through the ankle, back in the opposite direction. Take a deep breath and just bring that back down. Take a little march through in the middle, please. Popping the heel down onto the ball of the foot down and rolling side to side just through the heel, nice and gently. Body's up tall, core is locked in. And nice, deep, controlled breathing. Taking a deep breath, bring it to the base of the arch and pressure straight down, please. So again, nice and tight, hips are parallel. And when concentrating on that breathing, letting that all relax through the foot. Let's take a deep breath, bring it into the middle arch, and pressure's going straight down again. We'll take a deep breath and please roll back to the top of the arch and pressure down. Okay, I'm going to put my heel down as I reposition the foot, and we're just going to take those rolls backwards and forwards. Now we're just going to bring the heel down, please. Ball to the top of the foot and rolling side to side. So under the toes first, and progressively we'll move that ball forwards and backwards, holding onto a chair if we're needing to. Okay, so I'm coming back to holding at the ball of the foot, and we're just going to toes up and squeeze down. And let's just roll backwards and forwards again, please. And then we'll grab hold of chairs again as you bring the foot up and take your circles with the ankle back in the opposite direction. Deep breath, foot down, and taking a march through. Okay, so I'm just going to take a deep breath. Pop the balls away for me, please. We're going to come back into our little march. Looking straight ahead, relaxing through the body. And we're just going to now place the feet onto the floor, relax through the knees, tightening through the core. Take a quick look down and assess where the feet are again. Are we turning out? Are we turning in? Where are the big toes aligned? Keeping tight through the core. I'm now just going to get you to take a side to side swing through the hips as we have those feet in our hip width position. We're just going to have a real nice connection and awareness of your posture. So always remembering shoulders, hips, knees, ankles are directly underneath, so the feet are in that hip width position. Take a deep breath through, please, and circle through the hips. So today we are going to be bringing a few exercises in to help start working through a little more hip mobility and loosening that all up. Taking a deep breath, circle back in the opposite direction. So the first thing we're wanting to do is start very, very slowly with opening the feet up, creating a little bit more balance there. And then we slowly bring it up. Taking a deep breath and side to side again. Okay, so it's time for us to now either come down onto the floor or onto your chairs, onto the couches, wherever you can, to grab hold of those big toes and do the toga. So I will give you a few seconds, minutes. We're going to come down onto the floor and I'll see you shortly. Okay, so now we're down on the floor. You're going to take a position whether you have the straight leg out and bring that foot up, or if the hip mobility allows you to, I'm going to pop my leg underneath. So it's nice and tall through the body. We're going to keep it relaxed. If you're needing to pop a cushion under the knee, again, please do so. But we are going to start again, working through these big toes. We're going to hold on to the base of that knuckle, and we're just going to take a really slow circle through. So again, everything that we're doing is nice and slow, and it is repetitive. So these exercises, when we do them, the more we do them, the better movement you're going to get. Big thing with the feet is it does take a lot of time. So we've unfortunately had our feet in shoes for a very, very long time. And take your circle back in the opposite direction. And the one thing that I have noticed, and it has come up in conversation a lot with the older people that I do work with, is that the more, or the older they've got, the more time they've spent in shoes. So when they're at home, a lot of people are still wearing their shoes because they're reliant now on orthotics. So taking the deep breath in, please, let's just pull it up and back down, straight up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up, and bring back down. So deep breath, and let's just bring that toe in towards your body and then release it out. So we're just trying to realign that big toe a little bit, so just nice, slow, controlled movements. And bring that one in. Now let's take the big toe forwards and backwards, please. So we're bending it down and back up. So we're trying to get as much movement through that big toe as you can. Obviously, that can be a little bit smaller movements for some people. Okay, deep breath through. We're going to bring the forward and back through the big toe and second toe. So just nice and slow, nice and controlled. And we're now going to move down, please, to the second and third toe, so backwards and forward. Deep breathing, and let's come back to the third and the fourth. And we're coming down to the fourth and the fifth, please. And let's start bringing it back up. So we're coming up to the fourth and the third. Just backwards and forwards, nice and slow, nice and gently. And up to third and second, please. And we're going to come up now, please, to the big toe and the second toe, and just again backwards and forwards. And we're now going to hold midfoot, please, and link those fingers through the toes as best as you can. Holding onto that foot, we take the circles through. Now this one, linking those fingers through the toes, can take quite some time to do. So circles back in the opposite direction. In the classes that I run, we talk about toe spaces, and we've started using toe spaces. So the toe spaces is a little silicone device that you put between your feet. We're just going to hold again, and go side to side. It takes time to get used to wearing them because you've again had those feet jammed into shoes for quite some time. Take a deep breath, please, and just take a little rotation through the foot. So I'll show you them at the end of class. So they do help in opening up the spaces again between your toes to help with the splaying and to help a little bit more even balance through the foot. So we take a deep breath through, please. Take that leg out and just give the hip a little bit of a rub if we're needing to. A little bit of massage through your thigh as well. And just a little bit of a rotation through the foot, through the leg. Going to take a deep breath, please, and come to the other side. So when you're ready, foot will come up, please. Nice deep breath. Let's hold on base of the big toe into that knuckle and take your circles through in your first direction. So all these exercises are great to bring the circulation back to your feet as well. Circle back in the opposite direction. Taking a deep breath through and just bringing that big toe up and down, up and down. Nice and slowly. And down, up and down. Okay, and we're just going to release that one, putting the fingers in between the big toe, and we're just going to bring it back in towards your body. So straight in, checking that alignment through the big toe, just releasing slightly. And we're now going to take the big toe backwards and forwards, please. So forwards and backwards. Now we're going to move the big toe, second toe backwards and forwards. So we're just alternating the forwards and backwards motion. Deep breath through, please. Let's come to the second and the third. So forwards and backwards. And we're going to now come to the third and the fourth. And the fourth and the fifth, please, backwards and forwards. And let's move it back up, please. So we're now coming back up to the fourth and the third. And back up to third and second. And deep breath through, second and the big toe again, back and forward. Okay, taking a deep breath through again, please. Holding on mid-foot and linking those fingers in between the toes best we can. And we start taking a circle through the foot. And back in the opposite direction, please. Taking a deep breath sideways for me. Then we're just going to grab hold of that foot and rotate. Very small rotation through. And deep breath through, please. Take the foot out in front. A little bit of a rub through the hip if we're needing to. And a wiggle through the quad area. A little bit of a rotation through the foot. And a deep breath again. Now we're going to come back up off the floor, coming in beside your chair, and we're going to start working on the big toes up and down and seeing how that is progressing. Okay, and now that we're back up onto our feet, I'm going to get you to come back into a very slow march again. So just moving through those feet, working through them. And we're now going to again just stabilize through your feet and just check where those feet are positioned. And again, looking at where that big toe is going, how the foot is going, whether it's coming right in, whether it's going out to the side. And then we're just going to reposition that the feet are under the hips into our postural position. So from the shoulders, hips, knees, and straight down to those ankles. Check that your feet are going in a nice straight line as best you can. So keeping nice and tight through your core, please. Get that balance through the feet. So both feet, we're concentrating on planting the heels, the base of the big toe, the base of the pinky, and then just let those digits sit nicely into the ground. So just nice and even balance there. So we're going to be very conscious of holding that position through your foot in our tripod position. Tight through your core, please. Relaxing through the knees. Take a step out with your first leg. Again, tighten in, keeping the hips parallel. So take a deep breath, looking down at your foot. Helps a little bit. We're going to raise that big toe up as high as we can. We're now going to take a deep breath in, please, and put the big toe down and raise your digits up. So this one, it's going to take a while. So getting the mind muscle coordination through, we've also got to get those feet moving again and functioning a little bit better. So bring the small toes down and big toe up. So where I will come back to in talking about having our feet in orthotics, if we were in our 30s and 40s and instead of being given orthotics, taught how to strengthen our feet and reactivate those glutes, we would possibly be in a different position. So big toe down, small toes up. There are always reasons for orthotics, 100%, but strengthening our feet would have helped us a hell of a lot if we had done it way back when. So taking a deep breath through, we're going to take those switches now. So small down, big up, switch, 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 and switch. Taking a deep breath, we're going to bring those toes down and come back to our march. And we're going to stabilize through the feet. So again, we're going to check. We're going to get the balance through, base of heel, base of big toe, base of pinky, digits down, and just relax for a second. Keeping those knees relaxed, core in. Take a deep breath, please. Now take your foot out in front. Again, checking your alignment, taking a deep breath, raising the big toe, please. Big toe down, small toes up. So small toes down, big toe up. Big toe down, small toes up. Small toes down, big toe up. Now we're going to take your switches, so let's keep that nice and tight through the core again, please. And switch, 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 and big toe up. And bring that one back down. So take a deep breath. Let's come back to our march, please. Stabilize those feet again. Now we're going to get that focus of the base of the heel, base of big toe, base of pinkies, and dropping the digits down. Checking your alignment again, so making sure those glutes are slightly switched on and the knees are apart. So we're tightening through the core, hips are parallel. So we're now going to take a deep breath, please. Raise both your big toes. And big toe down, small toes up. With the small toes up, please take the outside of your foot off the ground without rolling your knees in, and take them down and digits down, please. Deep breath in, big toes up. Big toes come down, please. Small toes up. Roll the edges up again. Take the edges down. Small toes down, deep breath, big toe up. Big toe down, deep breath, big toes up. Big toes down, small toes up. Small toes down and big toes up. Big toes down, small toes up. Raising the edges. Deep breath. Edges down, small toes down, tuck through core, please. Take your deep breath in, relax through your feet again. So let's get our even balance, the base of the heels, base of big toe, base of pinky. Digits are going to be down on the floor, Tighten in through your core. We're going to take your deep breath in, please, and put a little bit of pressure down onto the digits, and you'll feel that arch come up slightly. Holding. And just release through. So you're going to take a deep breath in again. Check your balance is even through the feet. Take your deep breath in, please, and press your digits down. So we're going straight down to the floor. Don't claw the feet up. And just relax that down. So again, nice and tight through the core. Reset your balance. Take your deep breath. Press the digits down into the floor. And release, and we'll take one more time, please. So take your deep breath in. As you exhale, digits down into the floor. Take your deep breath and relax. We're now going to take the big toes up, please, and we're going to do a switch. So with both feet, switch, 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 and take the big toes down. Take a deep breath. Let's take a march through. Stabilize through those feet again, please, and let's just rock the hips side to side. So hands can come onto your hips. I have a few ladies that ask me to help work on their brain training, learning new things. So doing these type of exercises is really good for the brain training. So all the new things that we're learning in how to connect back with those feet, how to connect back with the toes. 2 bonus benefits for it. So working through strengthening the feet and getting that brain firing a little bit better again. Let's take a circle through the hips. And a circle backwards in the opposite direction. And we're going to take a deep breath, take them side to side again, please. Deep breath, and let's now come to a march. Now we're going to add in our next exercise where we're going to grab your bowl. So these are the little kits that I use in my barefoot sessions. And what we have is a set of keys, which I'm just going to place on the floor. I have a rock today. We have a handkerchief or a tissue, depending on what you've got available. We use a little round bouncy ball, so you can get them quite cheaply generally in party packs. And we use a very, very small little marble. I don't know how well that'll go on this floor. And we also have a hairband. So if you have a hairband or an elastic, we use them in exercise class as well. So if you don't have one of these available at the moment, try and get one. So these ones are a little bit thicker. You do put them around the big toes, so we're not wanting them too small and thin. So have a look at what you've got at home, and it may even be a thicker elastic band that will work. So they are all going to go on the floor, and I will then put my bowl on the outside. So again, 2 things that we're doing here. We're working through the toes, and we're getting a little bit more dexterity through the toes, and we're also opening up and working through the hip. So what we're doing, grabbing hold of the article that's in front, taking it to the side, and you're putting it into your bowl, and then coming back to starting position. You can use a chair to hold on to for these. We are always keeping core tight, and you're working to see how we can pick up these different things. So we're taking them to the side, sticking, and back. So it's always good to have different things to pick up, and you can always just find them around the house. So we're going to take them out on one side, and then when we've taken them out, we're going to place them back onto the floor, and I reposition my bowl back in front. So I'm now going from the side, and the movement comes in front. So nice and slow and controlled. If your bits and pieces roll away, don't go running after them. Let them go. Nice and easily pick them up for me. You may find one side is going to be easier than the other. So with this, we've done one side, and I'm going to now do the other side. So this is a very tricky one for people to get. The more you do it again, the better we get. So it's, again, we're using these activities to strengthen through the feet, get movement through the foot, through the toes, through the hips. Everything is slow and steady, and the more you do it, the better you will get at it. If you're in a group setting, it's also a lot of fun and rewarding when you can pick up little things like your marbles. So again, I'm now going to put these down to the side. And coming back up. And back down. Okay, so when we're doing these, one thing, if we're able to not hold on, you're using the balance and you're working through the feet, again, opening up through those hips, and we're helping with a little bit of the hip mobility. Just get you to put your bowls down and we'll come back, please, to your side to sides. So if you're at home, another exercise and activity for you to bring in. So we normally will do 2 sets in and 2 sets out when we're in class on both legs. So 2 sets on the left, 2 sets on the right. Today we're going to start with doing 1 set on each. So again, nice and slow, nice and steady, and we'll build it up as we go through time. Circle through, please. Some of my ladies have found that it's a very interesting activity to do with their children and their grandchildren. There's nothing like a little bit of friendly family competition. Circles back in the opposite direction. And we take our side to side movement again. So another thing that you can do, depending on where you are, if you have carpet, when we're in class, what we tend to do, rather than bending down to pick up those bowls, we actually just tip them all out and use our feet to move the bowl from side to side. I'm not going to do it on this floor. I do use it on carpet where I will dump them out. So always up to you what you do. But I hope you enjoyed that little activity. So next, please, I'm just going to get you to pop them away and we're going to come down for a stretch. So first up, we'll come behind the stretch, behind your chair for a calf stretch. So bowls and equipment out of the way. And I'm going to come behind my chair for a calf stretch, please. So back foot is nice and flat and my heel is down. So one of the other things we're looking at in barefoot session and barefoot training is releasing through that calf. Quite often that is very tight due to the lift that's put on little shoes. Take your deep breath through, exhale, bending that back knee slightly, please. Bring it up, swapping over, other side please, so back foot. Take a deep breath, please, exhale, bending that back knee. And bring it up and shake through the feet. Now I'm just going to take the hamstring stretch, so small step, bottom back, keeping your chest up. Take the front leg, make sure that's nice and straight pushing down. Bring it up, swap the other side, small step back, bottom back. A little bit of pressure on the leg, pushing the knee back. Deep breath, let's bring it up please. Get you to come in beside your chair, so shaking out through the legs, come in beside and take your quad stretch. So taking the quad stretch first, I'm going to change it a little bit again. Now we're going to shake out that leg. Please take your inside leg in and we're going to take a hip flexor. So if I come sideways, please, drop your bottom back knee down, bottom tucks under. I'm going to come back face on, holding the chair, take your straight arm up. So the leg that is behind is the arm that will go up. Your stretch will come through front of your hip flexor. Taking a deep breath, bring it down, shaking through the leg, and again, bring up for a quad stretch, please. So one thing that we are looking at doing in our back to basics session is really loosening up through your hip flexor and helping your postural alignment come back up a little bit taller. Taking out the leg and shake down, please. So we'll come to the other side, starting with your quad stretch, please. Taking a deep breath through, please. Release that one out, shaking out. Inside leg steps in, back leg, bottom down again. Flat through your hip bone, straight up, and we're getting the hip flexor stretch in, please. Take a deep breath, bring that one down. Bring the body back up nice and tall and take your quad stretch again. Take a deep breath, shaking up that leg. So it's just shake through, a little bit of a march, please, and we'll come down onto the chair for our hip stretch, please. Body's up tall. Nice postural alignment first, tightening through your core. Bringing that foot up, now keeping that alignment through on your supporting leg, holding onto ankle, pressure down onto knee. Deep breathing. And release. Take the foot down, bring the other side up. Ankle, deep breath in, please. Exhale, pressure down. And let's bring that foot down. So taking the feet out wide, keeping the knees over the toes. Take a deep breath in, exhale. Press the knees out and stretch inner thighs, please. Take a deep breath and bring that one in. Deep breath in, exhale, please, and pressure out. And we're going to bring that one back in, bring the knees together. Okay, so I'm going to come back and a little conversation with you. First up, next week, can we please remember to have the band handy? So it will be going around the big toes. So have a look at what you've got around the home and or that band that I got it from local chemists. So you can pick things up. If you've got a slider handy, we are going to be needing those over the next few weeks as well. So have a look on eBay and find something that you would be able to use to slide out on the floor. Now I'm going to come back to the toe spaces that I was talking about before. These are toe spaces. So I get mine from the Foot Collective in Australia. So there's a website. There's also the Foot Collective globally, but I'm based in Australia and I got mine from their site. So with our toe spaces, what they do is allow us to get a little bit of space in between those toes. So if you're looking at your foot and it is quite tight together, quite a lot of the ladies that I've started with, they're pushing in. I've got ladies who have got, unfortunately, the toes going under the others. They started with these and they were only able to have them on for about 5 minutes. It takes a lot of time to move them out. So over time, we've been able to gradually increase the time that they're wearing the toe spaces, and we are starting to get a little bit of movement through. So again, everything is very slow and controlled to do this. So it's toe spaces, and it may be that you're just sitting around in them. So if I pop my foot up, lovely, lovely show through. They sit around, it's nice and easy. And progressively over time, you'll notice that I've got the gaps in my feet, in my toes naturally. So that is what a toe spacer will help do. So it's helping us get the foot out into a natural position, into a splayed foot, which will then help us with the balance and stability, having strong feet. So aim of Barefoot Back to Basics is to have strong feet, to help us with balance, to help us with that stability, and to help better movement through your whole body. So the toe spaces are always optional, and everybody is very different as to what they believe and how they want to progress through. Toe spaces are an option. The Foot Collective Australia, check it out. So I'm going to leave my lovely little toe spacer on. Thank you so much for joining me in today's session. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you are noticing slow progress through with the balance and stability, building those feet, building the strength. I hope the upper body is feeling a lot better as well. So we're going to move forward into this next week with doing these sessions maybe 2 or 3 times. If we can, we're going to continue to have some barefoot time. So we're going to slowly now increase that, trying to get outside and doing some walking outside and reconnecting with the ground as well would be hugely beneficial. But just overall enjoy this session and doing this session again and again. And I look forward to working with you again next week in making even more improvements. So thanks again, and I'll see you shortly.